Yeah. So in 2007 is when I started this blog and spent about a year working on it part time, probably 10 hours a week or something like that. And in early 2008, I was making $100 a month from it, in which I felt like that's something, but far from a full time income at that point. And anyway, in June of 2008, I actually got laid off from my job and I started looking for another job, and I felt like the Lord was saying, "No, don't look for another job." And I'm like, well, then what should I do? What am I gonna do if I'm not looking for another job?" And I felt like He said, "I want you to work on this blog full time." And so then I reminded God that I was only earning $100 a month from this blog and how bad of an idea that was. To which He said, "Can you trust me?" And so anyway, it's pretty scary, because it's like this makes absolutely no sense. But we decided to do that, and so from June 2008, I became a professional blogger, making $100 a month with my blog. But the cool thing is, like 9 months later, God just put His hand on it, and the thing took off. And 9 months later, we were earning more from that blog than my old day job. Like it was just crazy.
Wow, wow, that is definitely some crazy feat. And I want to, ask you two questions in regards to faith. But my first question um, is the mindset that you
Yeah.
had to have. You spoke about when you started this paying off your debt. God was trying to increase your tithing, your giving. I can just imagine the mindset switch you had to have to like trust God. Like, okay, this is God, and this will work out. Like I'm gonna trust Him regardless of what happened.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, I mean, I think it's a mindset component. I think it's a faith component. I think there's multiple things here, but yeah, it's we see this all throughout the Bible, like God calling people to do things that are just seem crazy and seem like the only way this works if God's comes through, you know. And I've just always, as a Christian, just kind of not had much interest in doing it halfway. I mean, really, not even as a Christian. Before I was a Christian, I was just all or nothing. It's like I'm either going all in or I'm not. Like I'm either gonna be a full blown sinner, like as good as it can be, or I'm going all in with God. Um, I don't know. I just kind of think it was the same type of thing where it's like it's still scary. Like I mean, and God is still calling us to do things that, um, yeah. I mean, just a couple months ago, I had something that's like, all right, this is new level scary, but we've just seen God come through time and time and time again. And as you continue to see His faithfulness, it just makes it a little bit easier, each time.
That's well said. And I want to ask this question. You being the man of the house, and you want to provide for your family. I'm sure you had to like had this conversation with your wife that you're going to be given this amount of money. So what was that conversation like? To tell that you're going to taking this money to use to give to people, and you guys had
Yeah,
to pay off.
yeah. I mean, we it was a conversation. I mean, I've very much see myself like as a spiritual head of the home, and I want to play that role, but I also understand my wife's value in the conversation, and so yeah, so it very much was a conversation where we just chatted about, I explained like this is on my heart, and both of us pretty much have a good track record of when the other one says like I really feel like this is God, that we each just kind of go with it unless we feel strongly that all right, let's talk about this some more because I'm not really sure. And I think both of those instances, God had just given her a heads up, and any of these instances where we've kind of done some bold things in terms of giving, feels like God has just given her a heads up like before I came to her, so that it was easier, yeah, easy for her to just get on board, because she I mean, I have to give her a lot of credit. Like she just jumped right on board with a lot. And I think that's why.
That makes sense. And I want to ask, during this time you went full time, did you ever question this is going to work out? Or what would
Oh,
you do if it didn't
oh
work?
yeah, 100%. Like I mean, I had backup plans and stuff, but it's like there was part of me that's like, this is really exciting. I think there's something here, but I don't really know. But I feel like I should do it, and so. But yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like an idiot at the same time. I felt like I very well could fall on my face and just really embarrass myself with this. Um, And so I had all those feelings, all those concerns, but Linda and I pretty much decided it's like, we have a good amount in savings and we'll use that as an on ramp for the next few months to try to get this blog off the ground. And if it doesn't work out and we run out of money, then we'll go find a job. Like, so that was just kind of our backup plan for it. And we just never had to use it.
And both of you guys were working on the blog, or she was also working?
At that point, she had a job. She was working at our church as a receptionist. Now she's a bit more active in everything we're doing, but at that point, she wasn't.
No problem. So I want to ask, because oftentimes in this, debt journey, people usually give different, advice. Would you say for someone who wants to start this debt journey or in this debt journey, that they should focus on more on starting a side hustle compared to what you did? You started a whole business, um, which there was not any kind of guarantee whether there was going to be any kind of income. So what would you suggest someone to do
Yeah.
in that
No, I
position?
mean and that's a good question. And yeah, and I did call our business a side hustle, but I mean, I understand it's not a guarantee in those regards. But there's a lot of different ways to approach this, and I think it depends on your fervency, how much you desire to get out of debt, and whether you're willing to take the risk of doing something. So, for example, like I could have gotten whatever a more traditional side hustle, like delivering pizzas or something like that, in which I would have known that I have a guaranteed whatever $10 or $15 an hour. But in this case, or in any case of starting a business, it's like there's a risk it might not amount to that much, but there's also a potential that it could amount to way more.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's life. It's like managing risk and sorting through those things and figuring them out. So I feel like it's a tough thing. Like for me going back to it, I still feel like I would do it the same way again. Jeff Bezos has this quote that I really like that I've tried to kind of adapt or adopt, I guess, in a lot of areas of my life. And the quote is this, to this effect. I don't know that I have it perfect, but it's basically if you find yourself in an opportunity where you have a 10% chance of 100x return, you should take that bet every single time. And the idea being, 10% chance of it succeeding. So that means 9 out of 10 times you're going to fail, but 1 out of 10 you're going to succeed. And when you do succeed, it's 100x return. And so you can fail 9 times, and then that success is going to so far greatly, cover all those losses. And there's a lot of people who don't have that. I don't know what the mental fortitude maybe to like stick through that many failures, but and the other part of this is that it's never black and white. You never know exactly what percentage chance you have of whatever, but I tend to look at things through that lens, and especially when it comes to investing, like right now, I'm thinking through that with a lot of different things. What are the things where there's a disproportionate upside for me to run in this direction if this thing works out? Like it could be huge, versus if it fails, what's the downside? And just kind of comparing those two side by side. And when I do that, it just makes it a little bit easier. So that's how I'd be thinking about it again if I were in that situation right now, whether I'm trying to decide to go do Uber Eats or start a business, and potentially maybe even both. Maybe